Hey guys, what's up? Good morning. We're live and we're ready to go. Day 23 of the streak. Hopefully, rational day across the board. Actually, excited we get rational days. Well, we get nice and good trades out of this. I'm excited to see what we get. Hang tight, we'll get started soon.
Talk to me honestly. I'm here.
Good morning, team. Good morning. Stream is being choppy again. Like the sound is choppy or the video is choppy. What's going on? Good morning, guys. All right. Rational day today. Market's looking really nice and good. Time to get on going on to space in just a second. Hang tight. The audio's choppy. All the audio or just my talking? Oh yeah, I see it's buffering. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Day. The market's opening nice and flat. These are where some of my favorite trades come out. So I like to see that the market's waking up, not doing way too much too fast. I really do think that, you know, over the next quarter, we're probably going to be trading downward. Like all evidence suggests that, probably to spend a quarter trying to double bottom October's lows. So it's going to slowly move there. I don't think we're going to move quick. The Fed continues to taper off rate hike increases, then we're going to have an even more stable market. So opening rational, like in between DD bands and rocket scooter, market's going to have a nice clean open. It's going to be probably more of an easier read, so I'm excited to have a good trading day. But on the way down, you know, usually have like a red day, a green day, alternating. It's usually about 50-50 in this environment. We've seen one down day for one up day. So, you know, I like to see the market have some relaxation days along the way. So I'm excited to see what today plays out to be like. Audio is crazy and choppy. Yeah, I need to. Let me try one thing real quick. Drop some. Is that my card? That's my. I heard something like my credit card. My Wells Fargo card, I think, fell into the floor. Thank you, baby. All right, is that better? Check, check. Hopefully that's better. I just like cut the connection, reconnect it. My encoder is just acting funky. I'm gonna switch programs. Okay. All right, let's talk about the day today, right? First thing we do, double check everything. Rational. Looks like no catalyst, and VIX is great. We're above triple B on VIX, which is gonna be a little bit of Did you just blink? Did you just see that? What was that? That was 1 second. I did 3 of our rational rules. If you guys didn't know the rational rules, make sure you learn them. Week 1, you'll learn all about it.
Hey guys, good morning. We're all having a great day. Personally, I have no video on watch.
VIX clearly above triple B. There's that volatility buildup. If we do have a nice rally day today, I'm going to be looking for the VIX to interact with triple B to isolate and exit any of my trades on the long side. Today, again, we're trading internal. This would be a great candidate for an upward move if DD is positive, right? Being resilience. Being inside the bands. If resilience and DD agree for a nice long trade, I'll be looking to scoop from the bottom half to the top half. If that ratio is greater than 1/2, right? So we'll get there. Got my gaps marked from yesterday's video. So clearly you got a downside gap this way to be filled, and an upside gap to be filled this way. No idea what causes that choppy stream. I just cut it out and turn it back on. Make sure you get your liquidity maps ready for today. Let me pull up to make sure there's no big earnings after market. This is a big, looks big. Target was before. Target looked great. Montreal, Morningstar. Rocket companies. Yeah, so nothing really alarming coming today. Some Fed stuff. Yeah, nothing too crazy today. Hold on, Chicago PMI. Oh, we could get some move off of this today. The Chicago PMI, 20 minutes, so that's minute 45. Can y'all see on my screen? Can y'all see the window on my screen right now? The liquidity map? It's not showing up on my encoder. It's so weird. I need to... Where my mouse is, I'm literally holding a browser window and dragging it around in circles. Yeah, my encoder is acting very weird, so... Who knows? I need to reinstall this thing. I think that's a problem. No, my encoder is the problem here. I think it's causing all the funkiness. That's okay. No, it's so weird because it shows the entire. It's always. I never change anything. It's just it's having a bad day, maybe a bad week. I know, right? The music. I like to listen to, like, whenever I'm even gaming, I like to listen to like lo-fi music like this because it's just super chill. Keeps me focused. So opening up this morning, just say that we have all of our signals that we look at for irrational markets at open. 3 of the 5 we can check pre-market with rockets here, which is great. We're inside DD bands, no catalyst, and VIX is looking pretty solid. So this is going to be a pretty readable day. I think we had the Chicago PMI today, and we don't really any major earnings. I think Target was before market open. Other than that, the market's probably just going to move nice and stable. Like internal to the downside, we have a 396.4 gap fill on SPY for a downward target, which keeps it rational. The DD band is going to be the most important thing today, everybody. Obviously, opening with a rational market. As Ashton has stated, we did spend a little bit of time above monthly hedge pressure on SPY, which is showing the market is looking to have a moment of trying to reverse. We'll see if we have that same thing today. Right when we open out the door, we call it structure, as he said. So when you're above it, bull structure creates bullish hedging over the course of the month. When we say the month, we mean the options month, which goes all the way till March 17th. So it's the 3rd Friday of the month. And so what you look for, and those hedge pressures move every day when they rebalance after the options landscape changes, but we use them to kind of get a broader view of the market. So I start at the top and you know, zoom in. If we're above monthly hedge pressure, I have a more bullish mindset for the month than a bearish one. And then that DD number being the most important thing today is going to show the exact positional bias of the stock market today at the open. So if that number comes in greater than half, that's a pretty decent sign of when I say internal, I mean below yesterday's highs and above this week's lows, like basically internal to this wave that we've been moving on. Then we have an upward target and a downward target that's probably going to keep the market nice and non-volatile. Maybe 30 points in either direction. You know, clearly we see the VIX indicate. That's also a great sign that the market is stabilizing here with no really big catalyst to move it. So days like this are the days I like to wait for and wait for a good trade. Obviously, it's not irrational, so I don't sit out or bet small. I start to look for good opportunities, and I usually will play pretty heavy on days that I know like this open up nice and stable. So that's how I like to trade. And also, if you're just tuning in, we are live on YouTube at the same time. So any stocks or any plays that you guys are hearing about here, I'll always bring them live on my stream. If you go to the Matt account or the Rocket Scooter account, you'll see that link there. So join us live so you can see some visuals while we talk. Oh, retweet. Can you retweet my Matt post, please? One minute till open. I think they said they fixed the thing where it auto draws without having to refresh, so it's gonna be a good setup. Oh, my trading platform. I need to maybe log into that. I knew something was missing. Oh my god, Windows. Nobody wants you to auto arrange. That's so weird. It's like it's not even showing, even though I have my platform open. It's like frozen here for some reason. Hold on. So it's frozen the video, which is so weird. Hold on, I need to reset. All right, we're back. Yeah, my encoder was frozen. That's what's happening. So the encoder is the thing that's processing my video. The software is just acting beauty. I probably just need to reinstall it. Okay, we're looking right now. Liquidity map is, let me try really quick. Okay, we're doing a BRSU. Let's pull up the liquidity map here. BRSU opening below monthly hedge, hitting monthly hedge, back to open. It's a V-shaped move. Unfortunately, we're not getting that bull setup that we want. DD being positive 1/2. Ooh, ooh. Okay, great, 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 great. Okay, this is gonna be a really awesome trade if we can get it. If the lower band, if I get down to here, I can take a trade towards monthly hedge pressure later. I'm gonna let this fall to the bottom bands and the gap fill. Interesting. Okay. So inside of here, there's limited upside to here. This is not a long setup for SPY. Not yet. I'm gonna let it fall to the bottom of the DE bands or at the gap fill and do something from there. Nasdaq bear short up, same thing. Bear long up, now pushing through hedge pressure on the break. Keep an eyeball on this guy. Yeah. So resiliences are negative right out the door. Rational market things are good. Irrational and hedge breaks, so be careful on the upside. So we are going to come down. So when Nasdaq connects with bottom of the hedge pressure on a bear short up, that's where I'm longing. Love it. Love it. Positive VD going to the upper band, buying at monthly hedge. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be a great day. A big day. I'm going to buy the dip, let it run. SPY is moving and Nasdaq is not. Can y'all see now? Is that better? Check. Can you not hear me? I don't know what's going on with the software. It's probably my streaming software. It's not my gear. Can you hear? Okay. Good deal.
That catalyst really knows, but I do think it's going to take a catalyst to sell us down.
Leave that bottom gap fill. It's gonna be really close to those bands at the bottom. I'm watching DD bands on another chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop up the bottom and trade all the way up to here. Even with positive DD, that sometimes can lead to a chance that we do break up. Now, again, resilience being as negative as it is, this is resistance today right here. So I need a big scoop to take up on a long. Let's jump EVXY really quick. Let's pull some things on the scanner. Monthly hedge pressure breaks to the downside. There's not that many. Micron actually popped up on the scanner right here. I'll have to redo my scanner settings. Yeah. So I'm going to let it fall to the bottom DD bands. I'm going to take a scoop up and get along on this. Hold on. All right. All my desktops have switched. Yep. Oh, sorry about that. So opening read, the DD number came in at 0.52. It's just positive enough that when the S&P hitting that lower 3960 or that gap fill on SPY is a possible nice entry point for a small long setup to move back up towards the top, but we are below that monthly hedge pressure structure. Again, it's kind of like this competing signal. So it is a somewhat bearish setup. That 397.50, I'll be looking to see that break, but right now all the resiliences are negative, so the market's going to try to push lower. I'm going to try to span and get a what we call a DD trade when these rational markets set up. I let the market touch the bottom bands. Nasdaq is about 11,988. And S&P, so I'm talking about futures, is 39.62 and some change. So down in this region, the market is going to push lower because of the way that the structure is on that monthly hedge. And when it hits the bottom area, though, that very positive, that other number we talked about, DD, is showing the positional distribution of weekly options. And basically, that is a more near-term structure, and that's positive. So we have essentially, as we've been noticing yesterday, the market is trying to shift bullish. I'm going to try to get a dip or a better dip from here and maybe take a little bit of a long. But that monthly hedge pressure resilience moving above zero could hint that we could get a break in a gamma squeeze, which could push the market pretty high today. So I'll report if I start seeing hedge pressure break, the market's going to move really rapidly, and that could push the SPY as high as 399 likely today. As we push through that, if that happens. Right now, it's not structured to do that. We're gonna have to maybe take about 10-20 minutes to watch the market move, and then I'll take a stab at it. But I do think when S&P SPY is looking to fill that lower gap from the other day, about 396.40, and as soon as it does, it might get some bounce from there. Nasdaq's looking really strong compared to the S&P, and the Russell's also looking really strong. So those two might be the better movers, I would say, for the day. So keep an eye out, on the monthly hedge pressure break scanner. We had a couple that flagged up that were worth looking at, like Micron was on there. On the regular hedge pressure break scanner, in illiquidity pockets, which show breakouts and runners, I give Amgen, Citi, TSCO, USB, a couple of those. So the market's not waking up to a lot of really heavy runners. So it's gonna be interesting to watch this hit a bottom and turn around and rally. So we're not getting a lot of big movers pushing the market lower, which is great. This is like what I call like the perfect day. Things are gonna look good. So I'm gonna try to buy a dip but lower from here and then trade it back up. That's my plan for the day. What's up, Adam?
I was going to say kind of like a different take on what you see, because I'm seeing obviously the same information. But I'm looking at if we get
Or rally today. Rational to the upside. Oh yeah. Rational DD wants to touch the upper band. Right? Not how it works. Which one? Oh, sorry, Adam. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah, so I was saying I'm looking at SPY right now. So we have monthly hedge pressure at 397. I'm thinking about dipping my toes in there, half size at 397. Since we're in this bear zone, if we do get that monthly break, going another half at 398, and then using that 398 as a hard stop. How do you feel about that?
That's not a terrible idea. The one thing that the viewers are pointing out is that the viewers on YouTube are saying that IWM and QQQ themselves are pressing to break hedge pressures first before SPY. So that can create a gamma squeeze that can yank SPY above 398 as well. So we watch all three simultaneously. And the first one that flags one of those warning signs for a squeeze. And I actually overlooked that myself, so I love that the viewers are always keeping me in check. But IWM, keep an eye on that because it's already in that mode of starting to push the market higher. Russell's looking probably the stronger of the three. So Russell has a little bit upside move today, and that the DD ratio being positive. Both of those tend to counter my desire to take a short today. If you know, in rational markets, when DD ratio is greater than half, the SPY is preferential towards the bull zone while we're in a bear zone. So that's a hint that we could push up higher through that liquidity pocket of the bull zone. Like resilience just went very, very, very positive right now. And I think right now this is a great opportunity for me to probably get in on that trade. I'm gonna put in a small position, just really small. Yeah, so like that DD number is usually, it shows that positional risk is just really strong to the bull side. So SPY could break hedge pressures very quickly today. So I like that. And that upside is a pretty strong move because SPY could go all the way up to, S&P could go all the way up to about 40-20 on that. So I like to look at that ratio to give me a hint to go with that. But what you're saying is correct. Like if you did that hard stop at 398, if you're shorting off a monthly hedge, the downside has limitations if resilience is very positive like it is. You only go down to that open atom. It's like that 397 level where the opening price is. The downside will hit the bottom of that band now if resilience is positive. So that's the thing to look at. If you know what I'm talking about. So the downside is limited. That's what's keeping me from trying to short this. It's really strong. So I just entered a small long position. Yeah, I just put in a couple contracts long. Yeah, just 6 contracts. So I'm just hanging on tight with this one. Yeah, I did take a long. I took a small 6 position contract. I am betting on monthly hedge pressure break to the upside, creating that gamma squeeze. That's the thing we're talking about today. That positive DD number can push us really close to a liquidity pocket, and I can see 398.5 or 399 being possible, but I'm not going all the way in because I do want to scoop in lower in case we do fall closer to that 35-20 level. So resilience just going very positive today is a very strong indication of the S&P trying to match its close price from yesterday. So while we did gap down a little bit, resilience is a gap fill predictor, and what it does is looks at the arbitrage between the index and the stocks, and if the index is trailing the stocks, which it usually is in rational markets, resilience is a leading indicator of the market's desire to go upward to fill the gap. So that's a trade for me to go to 397 and some change to fill that gap, which will cause a hedge pressure break along the way. This is one of those cascading signals that you get that's pretty easy to read. So resilience can show that we break hedge pressure, and that positive DE say that we can continue to, or resilience says we can break monthly hedge pressure, sorry. And then I'm just looking at SPY. And then that DD number says we can continue to go all the way up to the bull zone. So it's going to likely be a quick runner today. I like it. Absolutely.
It looks like monthly hedge pressure is what? 390.
397.50.
397.50.
Yeah, and IWM is probably what's leading the way. The Russell is pushing really heavy on a hedge break itself. And so if you guys are just tuning in, what is hedge pressure break, right? And so hedge pressure is a high volume pivot that's predictable before the market hits it. And what we do is we're looking at the balancing act of market maker options. That's what our technology does. And if you're curious what it does, is if you're looking for pivots, typically people look at past volume to dictate future pivots, like a volume profile or VWAP or something. We predict future volume before it happens with no past evidence. We look at the current options landscape. So these hedge pressure numbers, and you might hear half gap and things like that. We have these 3 major pivots we look at every morning, and they're high volume, and we try to use them to dictate one way or the other. And you'll hear something called DD number and resilience. Essentially, they're just tiebreakers. And when they all line up, which right now they're all lining up bullish, they could be strong enough to break through those market makers' hedging barriers, and that creates a pretty solid squeeze to the upside. So I'm looking at today being one of those days where we can actually predict a hedge pressure break before it happens. And a hedge pressure break predicts a crash before it happens. or hedge pressures do. So it's like getting 2 steps ahead. It's really cool. This will be a fun day to watch if you guys do tune into the stream. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. It's looking all nice and solid for a nice run up. No, guys, listen. There's a video we made called Resilience Predicts Hedge Pressure Break. Resilience predicts hedge pressure break. For resilience to be positive, you have to fill the gap, which means you have to break monthly hedge pressure to get it. So resilience being positive, resilience trumps liquidity map. If you go to, this is one of the most important things, and I want y'all to know. And again, if I lose the trade, I lose the trade. But if you go to the rocket scooter overview, here, if you go down here, the overview tells you the ranking of stuff. Liquidity maps are outranked by anything related to redistribution zone or half gap, which are outranked by anything doomsday. Okay, so while liquidity map is a bear short up from here back down to open, remember how this goes. A BRSU, I'm taking it heavy. So BRSU, while it does from the bottom hit hedge and come back to open, there's a V-shaped move from here to here. Resilience can predict a hedge pressure break if resilience is positive. So resilience being positive and rational means it wants to fill the gap, and look what it did. Okay, PMI just came out. PMI. Let's check the numbers. Hold on. Hold up. 4 points. Chicago PMI. Sorry to interrupt, Jag. Chicago PMI just came out. Got a nice little bump on the, I think it just came out. At least it's moving like it just came out. But that's supposed to be now. Do you have the numbers? Is Evan here? Because it doesn't look like it's updating on my news.
Yeah, let me find that real quick for you. Evan's actually traveling in Europe right now, so he was on in the beginning of the space. But
I can just say Chicago PMI February 43.6, that missed expectations of 45.5, and fell further in contraction because previous month was 44.3, so it's a miss across the board, at least on the headline. Now we need to see.
Yeah, it's a miss on the headline according to Jaguar.
43.6.
So hedge resilience can predict hedge pressure break, and positive DD, it might want to break through and go through the zone. Ooh. Thanks. Hey, yeah, thanks for that, Jag. So this is one of those days we were talking about how the resilience can predict hedge pressure breaks, and we're starting to get that pushing forward on SPY. It's just another day to see how our signals line up. So we actually have, since we use options, our signals are leading signals. So today, you know, when options tell you where people want to be long or short in the future, we use that kind of to our advantage to look for these pivots. And all morning as it's dipping, I was trying to talk about me wanting to buy a dip and get in. With everything being long and strong and rational, this is what we talk about like in Rockets here when we train people here on trading. And so I sit out, I wait for what I want, and I strike when everything lines up, and then I strike a little heavier than expected. So strike a little heavier when things are better than expected, and then I play a little lighter sorry, when things are not lined up as well. So the market's looking really solid today. I like what I see. Obviously there's a limitation, what we call liquidity pockets. There's going to be a big liquidity sink right at 30.98.5 on SPY, which is good. But yeah, things are looking pretty solid for kind of a break situation. I would like to see the market move higher on S&P to 4020. I'd like to see the NASDAQ move higher all the way to the top of these bands, 12,205. These risk interval bands are a cool exploit in futures that we have. And if you guys turn on to the stream, I have it front and center if y'all want to look at it. So I'm liking what I see. I'm going to hang on. So we're in type 2 resilience right now.
oh, you came in nicely timed with that long grid there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so now, Matt, we came up to 398.
Where are my candles?
Behold, we rejected off 398.
I probably should close the scalp right here.
Wonder what was at 398. It's a joke. We know exactly.
Yeah, it hit hedge pressure and turned around. This is that upper target. So my question now is, do I want to gamble for more and hang on for a little bit heavier? Yeah, so right now with resilience positive and we're hitting the middle of half gap, that is another evidence of support. I think I'm going to actually watch it here. As long as that resilience stays positive, I think I'm going to hang on to my position. I'm probably going to add to it right about now. Put a little bit more on the table here. Yeah, so I'm adding to my, it bounced up a hedge pressure, which technically the scalp was to close at hedge pressure, but with all things lining up the way they are today, I'm actually going to trade it long for the whole day. This is something I rarely do. I didn't take any profit at hedge, but I normally would. I am adding my position to bet on hedge pressure breaks right now, which is on the back test is about 11% chance for SPY, which is neat to see. When all the signals are rational, I'm actually trying to bet heavy on 11% move, which means the payout will be pretty big if it goes. And so if you guys are curious about our stuff, we actually have stats that we can share. If you guys ever come by and visit, we can talk about the stats of all these different hedge pressures and things. It's pretty cool. Talk about it. So I'm going to take a riskier bet here. I am on day 23 of my streak, so I could end the streak on a risky bet, but we'll see. I do like what I see. Ooh, well, if I'm buying you dinner tonight, man, you need to come take me out too. I mean, that's what I love about, like, especially with rocket scooter traders, you know, it's like nobody here is handing out signals. Nobody here is telling you what to do. Everybody trades differently, but everybody knows where it's important to trade and where it's not. Adam has a bias at a certain level. I have a different bias at a certain level, but the difference between, you know, I would say the amateur and pro traders out there are knowing what's important to trade and knowing what's arbitrary to trade. And I think that's really what's key about rocket scooter is that we specialize in removing the arbitrary from the non-arbitrary. You find out what's important, which pivots matter. You're not trading in the middle of a no man's land where the only person standing there. So that to me has always been important, you know, to find where Wall Street cares about something. And that's such a key thing for a new trader. So So I'm gonna bet now. Resilience is negative, so I don't like this. This was a risky trade to bet for more, but DD is positive. DD is positive. I'm gonna bet for more. So I need resilience to not go negative, or I'm gonna lose for the day. And then I'm gonna do is if I lose for the day on this, I'm gonna scoop down here and long for the day. So we need to see the sky. This is not a good signal. This is a flip. This is a reversal signal. Remember, we are possibly rational. Let me double check IWM though. So we are irrational today on a hedge pressure break for Russell. So, yeah. If you guys, by the way, if you want to get into using the platform, we have an extended trial, which is awesome. We're doing. How are you guys liking the classes, by the way? Can you give us some feedback? I kind of wanted to ask this. Some of our folks here are asking for feedback. Like, how are you liking? What got you signed up? Who got you signed up? What did you see that you liked? How did you enjoy the experience of onboarding? How did you enjoy the experience of the folks that talked to you, maybe on Discord or on Twitter? Everybody's saying, you know, like, how are we doing? And, you know, as the boss, it's always good to, you know, give feedback. So I don't want to email you some annoying review or some shit. So, you know, like, Survey Monkey or whatever. But how are you guys liking it? Give me some feedback. How are you guys liking the onboarding process? You know, Slacks has been working his booty off. Our social media team, how are you guys liking social media? How'd you get here? What do you like? Amaranth, you know I like you. And I gave you your honor title last night, by the way, because you're drawing a bunch of pretty pictures for the group, for the classes. So everybody, you can welcome Amaranth to the Flight Engineers Club, because that is our group of folks who make stuff for the team. I remember talking to you, texting you while I was going to Whole Foods one afternoon. You're having trouble getting in. Somebody's like, I've been talking to this guy all day. He's kind of annoying. He's like, he's having so many problems. And I walk up and I go, hey, look, I'm gonna give you access, and if you hate it, just tell me. I'll give you your money back, free on the house, and I'll comp you for the rest of your life for your troubles. Remember that? See, I remember everyone I talked to. Y'all are awesome. I'm just kidding. They didn't say you were being annoying. They felt bad because you were having access questions, and we were like, oh, okay. So I hooked you up for life, didn't I? And Amaranth is like, yeah, poor Slacks. Yeah, you tortured him for like 2 hours. Sock's like the coolest guy ever, though. I mean, honestly, we couldn't do this without him. Dude, you guys are rocking it considering the growth you're seeing. Oh, Justin Luna, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I won't lie. Our member base has tripled in size in about 2 weeks. It's been crazy. We have one Rocket Scooter user right now, Trades by Matt, if you know him. Trades by Matt is now in the top 5 in the Robbins Cup, the Trading World Cup in the freaking world. And he's killing it. Like all of our friends out there are killing it. All my friends on Spaces are killing it. It's great to see this kind of golden age for us. I'm loving it. But it's just because, I mean, honestly, I won't attribute anything other than I'm willing to put my account in front of everyone's face, and I'll tell you that's one of the rarest things you'll ever see, and I think people appreciate that, and to me that's exciting. I decided to also, Matt invited me to enter the Robbins Cup. So he's like, you should enter this contest, it'll be fun. And so I'm gonna do it. As soon as Rocket Scooter can trade futures, I'm gonna enter the Robbins Cup on a Rocket Scooter dormant account. And Matt and I are gonna get top 5, both of us. That's our goal. So you're gonna see me and Maddie, the 2 amigos from Texas, hopefully both top 5 in it in Robbins, so we'll see. I'm excited. So that's the Trading World Cup. And Matt was so fascinated by resilience. That was one of his favorite tools when he started using this. He was like, that is very cool. He's like, I love scalping. Matt loves scalping. He plays the NASDAQ too. And he started using resilience as one of his favorite tools. So we have so many tools for different styles of trading, which I like. Like, don't like that we are pulling back a little bit, but this is okay. This is probably going to move. It's going to be hard to break hedge pressure. Remember, there's an 11% chance that we break through hedge pressure when rational. There's a 96% chance that we don't break out of the bear zone. So I'm betting on a 4% chance because of DD. Isn't that crazy? And I'm betting heavy on that 4% chance. This is something we don't normally do. Look, resilience and monthly resilience are positive. We're moving higher. Let's go. I'm looking for that consumer confidence number to come through. The stocks are pushing higher. This is it. Let me show you on my thing. So what? Again, if I end the streak, I end the streak. But I'd like to see a big win on these confident numbers. Okay, this is what we look for. You can just draw simple arrows. So the easiest thing to do at the start is always to draw your liquidity map, so you have a framework. We check if the market's rational, and today the market's rational. Consumer confidence comes out in three minutes. It can nuke my position, but I'm positive right now. If it nukes me, then it nukes me. I am sitting in a sitting duck for a catalyst, so we'll see. BRSU right here. There's scalping between the two hedge pressures. You see like that. It took off just like you see. You open below monthly, you hit hedge, come back to open. Open below monthly, hit hedge, come back to open. Both of those trades, all of those are there. This is a bearish setup. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but do y'all all see this? Everything is played out exactly like liquidity map. Nice rational day. There's a scalp from here to here. Why am I picking colors that suck? Well, I get so excited on days like this. There to there, there to there. Open, yellow, open, open, yellow, open. So the liquidity map scalps are all there today. You'll notice with the rational market, as Amarath said today, I get so excited when I go in a rational market. It's nice, easy, like reads, right? The market pivots well, it trades well, it doesn't chop around a lot. So in general, liquidity map is going to have pressure here and pressure here. It's going to have pressure from here to there to there. And if you lose this, it's going to want to trade lower to bottom DD. Okay. The rules though, when rational, DD greater than half, price wants to be a DD high, which is way up here. If price wants to go here. Another factor that's showing a predictable breakout are these guys right here. So let me make sure I got the bands front and center. The market could run today all the way to DD high. And everyone here that's in Rocket Scooter knows. So let's map out the resilience. When resilience is positive, right? The first thing you do is you go in your half gap. and you mark up your mode. So let's just kind of know that DD positive is way up there at 401. This is an exciting day for a breakout. I'm betting on a hedge pressure break. That's positive. So remember, we're sitting on a catalyst potential in about a minute. Res greater than 0, mode 1. Res greater than 0, mode 2. Which is from here, that ends up to there. DD is like 401, greater than half. It's gonna wanna push the upper band. Monthly resilience is positive, which means that is support. It's leading indicators and rational. So it wants to push above there. Resilience. So if the news comes out and resilience just does this, then I'm toast. That's what we got to see. So in about 1 minute, we'll decide if this DD roll plays out, then DD being positive and resilience being positive can forecast hedge pressure breaks and forecast liquidity pockets. And DD being positive, as we know, if you're rational and open in the bear zone, if DD is less than 1/2, you stay in the bear zone 96% of the time. DD is greater than 1/2. This could predict that 4% chance of a break. All right, Trades of Matt is number 4 in the world. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna tell you what's really crazy about what we do by streaming our trades, right? There's a lot of people who just don't do this, but who also are like selling things. Right? Matt doesn't sell anything. I don't think he has a course or anything. But there are people that, ooh, let's go. Break that hedge, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Here it is. Numbers came out. So make sure I don't hit hedge or turn around. Watch resilience very carefully. VRSU moving. Again, we're going to hit hedge pressure resistance. So keep an eye out. Am I coming to Matt's golf thing in October? Absolutely. The one in Vegas. Are we going to go? Yep, we are going. Now, I'm going to tell you, I suck at golf, so just please don't expect me to like be good or anything. That resilience, baby, this is what I'm telling you. Does everyone understand when I say can predict hedge breaks? DD is hinting, this is a new thing, but when DD is positive, it's from the videos, the bull zone is preferential. When resilience is positive and you're below, that's why I'm adding right up here to break through it. This is a very small % chance this is normally going to happen, but you see it's trying to push and trying to push. So I hope I don't get squeezed out, but eyeball and resilience the entire time. These consumer confidence numbers, hold on. 102.9 on a 108.5 expectation. So we're going to see if this becomes a catalyst, right? Let's get that anchor point front and center. Come on, baby. Don't squeeze daddy today. Still within the range of noise. We're still an improvement over the course of the last 6 or 8 months, but we are down off of yesterday and we did come in under expectations. Predict consumer spending. Obviously, we're getting waves of secondary inflation, due to the secondary wage inflation that's coming through. Oh yeah, this is great. We're gonna rally. I like it. Resilience is unfazed. Unfazed. Again, I'm taking the small bet. And those of you that are learning scalping or day trading from here, the rule would be once you hit the resistance, it's over. And this is a complex trade, right? So this is pairing all the indications together. This is betting on a hedge pressure break. First of all, I bet on the first MHP break because MHP resilience was positive. So check. Monthly hedge pressure is now support as long as this yellow line is above 0. So you can actually pair up all the indications together as long as we're rational, which IWM is showing signs of irrationality. So we may have a little bit of delay, but you can always draw them just like this. If that's positive, and one day we'll have these arrows on here. You can always just draw arrows like that. That's support. I'll put a little S there. If resilience is positive, then that's also support from half gapped, a different line. And if you break above here, then this is support. Now, next resistance, we always train to exit or trim at next resistance. So I'm just being a maverick today because last but not least is DD band rule. These are all 5 of our irrational rules and all 3 of our big 3 rules testing all at once. This has 2 rules going on. When rational, It will not touch the lower band before the upper band like almost every time. So it wants to go there before here, which is about 401. Okay. Number 2, when rational, the band I drew up, it's at the top, but when rational, the bull zone is preferential than the bear zone. The S&P, if it's lagging, will catch up, which means we're gonna go there. Ooh. I don't see, it keeps pushing. It keeps pushing, predicting that hedge break. Baselining in the economy. People are all waiting to see if QT is going to be the big mover of the market. But in general, this news comes out, you think that people are going to sell off and people are rallying. All the evidence points to that this morning, that the appetite kind of was there for a bull move up to the upside. And yeah, whenever we were talking, I actually doubled down on my long position, so it's twice as big. I'm about to trim some of it as we are breaking through hedge pressure. And one of the neat things about our calculations that we have is that when markets are rational, resilience and DD are really strong leading indicators. As I said, we would probably break through that 398 and keep going. Looks like we are about to hit a liquidity pocket as well. These are all signals that I've been watching this morning, and it's all pretty clean and clear as day. So I do like what I'm seeing, and I don't think there's any downside from here. I don't think we're going to rally too hard, but I do think we're going to travel pretty far today. So I think 40-20 high on the S&P is probably where we're going to go. The 4% chance of breaking bear zone to bull zone is overridden by a stronger tool that we have called DD. And when DD is positive, it shows that the stocks are all bullish while the SPY opens bearish. So when you have that kind of discrepancy, arbitrage draws them together, and resilience tilts the scale with DD as well. So both of those numbers were showing really strong signs of positivity while markets are rational, which means that typically the S&P is lagging behind the market and will run to catch up, as opposed to the stocks selling off. So that's what we're seeing today, and it's looking pretty good. When irrational, yeah. So here's the thing, right? Let me just trim a little bit. Let me read what you guys are saying. So when irrational, yes, you can no longer use that DD rule as easily as you can when irrational. That's right. So when irrational, the stats are indeterminable. You're correct. Sorry, I'm multitasking here, talking on the space. It's hard to give that lesson while live on the space, but you are correct. So the probability is 96%. When rational, you stay here 96% of the time when you open here. 4% chance you go here. The new rule that we have no stats for, though, is when DD is greater than half and you're in the bear zone, what's the probability that you go there? That is a new discovery. We just know it preferentially wants to go there. And while it does create irrationality by breaking through hedge pressure, if hedge pressures weren't here, That's not irrational to pass through random. As a matter of fact, when I hit a liquidity pocket, which is just random but not irrational, pretend hedge pressures are somewhere else, and I just trailed a liquidity pocket. I use DD and resilience to break the tie at random all the time. So, Scooter McGavin, dude, if I go to that meetup in Las Vegas and see you guys, I went to Tradesman Matt's last meetup before after COVID. We went to Lake Travis and Austin. It's pretty dope. TBM the GOAT. Oh hell yeah, Matt's a classy dude. How'd you hear about Rocket Scooter by Tradesman Matt? Joined up yesterday and seems like a good community to be in. Oh, appreciate it. We've kind of been like super cool with Matt for years. Like he hosted like charity streams and stuff. We'd all raid his stream and throw money into the pot, and it was always really cool to us, especially when we were like the new guys on YouTube. It's really nice to see, like, in the industry, you know, there's like two sides to the trading industry. There's like, you know, the professional side, and then there's the weird side of social media. And the weird side of social media is like people are fighting all the time. It just seems a little toxic. But again, like I said, not everybody's that way. But when I got on YouTube, you know, we're like the new guy on the scene, and Matt was always like super welcome. He's like, oh yeah, well, he was never like, who's this guy stealing viewers? Like, he's in my space. Matt was always like, oh cool, dude, another streamer. Oh, you're from Texas? Cool. Oh, your name's Matt? Cool. And we're just buddies out the door. He's always classy to us, which I always respected. We're getting that 401 level from DD Vance. This is a new thing, right? To bet that DD creates hedge pressure breaks. Again, as long as resilience survives, like I said, I could lose today, but I am taking that bet that as long as resilience survives, we're fine. Remember, rational again on SPY. I'm just taking some profit from one side to the other. Remember, resilience still positive. I got it 83, 89. We can add some more. I'm just going to scalp it through here. It's going to want to connect to this gap, but see, nothing looks alarming right now. It's one of those things that even when the markets are irrational and hedge pressure breaks, we teach you guys, as long as you're newer to Rocket Scooter, to be comfortable sitting out and not playing too heavily on this, on any signals that you do get. So what I do is I really do want to see how well this works. This guy being greater than half, it wants to touch the upper band before the lower band. So if it scoops down in here, remember, we've seen that before. Markets will be rational down here. It will not likely want to touch this lower band. So I'm ready to dive in, double down right here to trade up higher. I am betting on a hedge break, which is the rare position. So we'll see. Top, yeah, and so the next exit, it typically is there. I just would love to see some stats on this. Now remember, hedge pressure breaks are irrational, and it makes very little sense to try to rationalize something that's irrational. So to create stats for how often this works, unless it's the high 90s, I'm not gonna try to maintain stats on how rapidly, or sorry, how accurate it is to say that this number prefers this side. If you have to break hedge pressures to get there, it becomes irrational from there. So it's kind of like one of those hard statistics, and it's choppy. So what I'm doing is I'm just trading both sides of the range as long as resilience stays good and DD stays good. So what I'd like to see is to trade from here back through there for the end of the day. See, now it's going negative. This is what I don't want to see. The white line is a gap fill from the session 2 days ago. So this is the close from, what's today, Tuesday? This is close from Friday. I just manually drew it on there. And now I told you I'm taking a small I'm taking a small chance move. That res is still looking pretty solid. Let me go zoom in on this right here. And again, let me double check IWM. IWM irrational QQQ. Nasdaq resilience is looking strong. It is the stronger of the two. S&P is definitely hanging in there. Let's go. Leading indicator, let's go. Although we are irrational on Russell, we have to be very careful. Come on, baby, don't go negative. Being so close to zero makes it hard to be as confident as I'd like. But it's been strong all morning, so we are getting some moves, which I like. I want to get as close to 383 as possible. Like, I'm trying to scalp the lower band from here through a hedge break. I want to get a really strong run. 20 points would be nice. Maybe it's worth like a 2K day if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna have to dig out of here to trade from here to here. As long as this stays greater than half, it's gonna have a hard time breaking irrational to the downside. Since this is all juicy and rational down here. Let's see what's going on in the world of scanner. Let's take a look for hedge pressure breaks and illiquidity pockets. Snow Oxy. Hedge pressure breakup. I'm just looking for illiquidity pockets that are runners. Let's run the bullish ones. I want to see this move. I'll be willing to trade from here to here, though.
Sorry, just quickly. Dow Jones now is session low.
Good deal, good deal. DD gets thrown out when irrational. DD gets thrown. Yes, that's correct. When irrational, DD, liquidity map, resilience get thrown out. Correct. So right now, the career trade is to trade to the resistance and call it a day, which is what we saw. I'm taking a gamble while irrational off of confidence of two good, strong confluence while irrational. So you're correct. So why am I betting a little, almost like my full position that I like to see? Because I am knowing what I'm getting into, as I said. I know that this was the way to get out. Small % chance of breaking. But even so, this and this and this go together. And yes, you don't take a lot of stock into these signals, especially when it's at close to 50 and close to middle. Right? They're not one way strong or the other. But this is a lower probability, higher reward bet, and I know what I'm getting into. And I know my reward and risk ratio is really good if I do get the run I want. You're correct, Schmed. Does this plan news report make the stay irrational? No. Irrational has to do with when you break outside of certain ranges or has a high probability of margin calls, which we can predict and calculate thresholds for that. So does BRSU does not really work when the markets are rational. Yeah, they always work. When markets are rational, they always show where buyers and sellers will be. They always show where buyers and sellers will be at all times. It's just I don't use them for strong pivots when irrational. That's it. Karen, man. My name is also Matt. Yeah, fighting and fake trading. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about what I said on Twitter. Yeah, people on Twitter, not all people on Twitter, but I thought people were going to be super stellar and professional. I mean, I come from the world of oil and gas and engineering world where even if you were a Longhorn, your boss is an Aggie, and y'all hated each other in school, y'all were still buddies because you liked football. That's where I came from. Everybody's chill and cool. But Twitter is just like this weird seedy underbelly, and it's like the paper traders that try to sell discords and courses, I think. it's very like Napoleon syndrome of all these small time folks buying views to look big and avoiding anything that could expose the fact that they couldn't string together 3 or 4 winning days in a row and make a living doing this. And they all pointed at each other, challenging each other to like join this Robbins Cup thing. And Matt was like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'll do it too. What's up?
desktop, you can't see
Ooh.
it. Go to the space on my timeline, and you'll see a replay. So perfect run through there from Matt.
Resilience can predict hedge pressure breaks. There's a thing when it comes to the hierarchy, right? There's a video called Hedge Pressure Breaks, and there's a, I think there's a resilience can predict hedge break video we did. Maybe it's in week 6. There's a video here. We haven't covered resilience set in the training. Because it outranks, and if you look at them with our big 3 liquidity map, redistribution zone, DD, and then monthly hedge pressure resilience and resilience right there. Hedge pressure breaks are the most violent and dangerous things, right, that you see with liquidity maps. They're one of the irrational rules. And so when you have to fill a gap or you have to go to the bull zone, we've noticed that resilience or DD can predict hedge pressure breaks. So while it is BRSU in that short setup, the V shape from here to here played out, the scalp from here to here and here to here played out just like it does on liquidity maps. You guys will see, right? So liquidity maps, BRSU, open, yellow, open, open, yellow, open. There's that V. Yellow to blue, blue to yellow, yellow to blue, blue to yellow. They're all there. Resilience can predict hedge pressure breaks if it has to break through hedge pressure to close the gap. Filling the gap is a stronger volume pull than the resistance of hedge pressures. Even monthly hedge pressure, a month worth of options being hedged, can be overwhelmed by the desire of stocks to fill the gap. That's why SPY is having a harder time selling off, because the stocks are not selling off. The stocks are staying nice and strong. Now, what I'm wanting to see is if we get DD gets more or less as the day progresses. What I want to watch is liquidity pocket and illiquidity pockets. The first thing I want to look, because if DD goes stronger, closer to 1, then this is or sorry, if DD goes weaker, then 1/2, let's say it goes to 0.48, 0.46 or whatever, then I know that stocks are falling out of the bull zone and into the bear zone, or falling from a liquidity pocket back to the bear zone. So when you look at the 2 indications that rank above liquidity maps, predicting hedge pressure breaks for breakout squeezes is one of the advanced techniques that you guys will get to in like weeks 5 or 6 in the training. So while you have only learned that when irrational, we throw out the indications for scalping and making day trades, the combination of techniques to blend the 3 together become a more advanced application. So while irrational would want me to bet smaller, right? Breaking through hedge pressure wants me to have a small bet and a runner, as we've trained you so far. We don't want people not fully understanding the limitations. When I'm watching this like a hawk, but I also know that we are irrational in hedge pressure breaks. So this might be a lagging indicator now. It may be leading, it may be lagging. We can't assume that it's leading anymore. So what I'm betting is that it stays positive. Every time resilience goes negative, my blood pressure raises a little bit. As long as this stays positive, the general direction, if you were to just draw directions on your screen, this is how the rules work. So as an advanced, so what the worst I think that can happen is if it trades lower down in here. I'd love to trade it up to there. So which means I should probably trim my position down a little bit. And if we start to lose resilience pretty heavily, I'll probably trim to half, put it back in right there, and then dig my way out. But I want to bet that we do stay up in here. So the rules, if you're just to take them without thinking irrational, DD 0.5 or greater than you're equal to wants the upper before lower, if rational, right? And because we are irrational on Russell and other hedge breaks, I have to take resilience with a grain of salt. So the way I like to look at it is that if it's really strong and powerful and staying strong, like this had me excited, this has me kind of like meh. But it's hugging zero, so I'm not too scared of it yet. If it starts pressing lower and lower and lower and stays lower, then I'm going to call it a day. When irrational on any hedge pressure breaks, which IWM happened, hugging zero is something I'm just going to wait through. So when rational, resilience greater than zero, breaks through monthly hedge pressure to close the gap. When irrational, I'm sorry. So everything is when rational, okay? Resilience greater than zero, you fill the gap this way, which forces a hedge pressure break, which can create that additional power that you see. DD being greater than 1/2 means that the bull zone is preferential if the stocks are leading and the index is to follow. We have to become irrational to get there. So that rule is a hard sell today for me to buy into that rule with a lot of confidence, because you have to break through hedge to get there. But those hedge pressures weren't there. I would bet that we do go through and hold the bull zone till the end of the day. So what I'm betting is that while resilience can predict hedge pressure break, as long as it stays positive, because it has to break through to go, it's going to take a little bit of time to squeeze some monthly options. That's why it's fighting all day. This not budging makes me feel good. Now, if it goes less than 0.5, it means stocks from the liquidity pocket fell out or stocks from bull zone fell out. Then that's going to kind of kill my strategy today. But the R&R in general, just think DD, is really good. For the zone to hook up in there somewhere. BRSU, we do not fall down. Liquidity maps don't predict market direction. They just predict where buyers and sellers can be. You can't use a liquidity map, Dimitri. You've been here long enough to know that. Liquidity map is not predicting direction. I can say this 1,000 times. And people still look at this like, oh, market's going to crash today. Oh, market's going to rally today. This does not predict market direction. You cannot predict the direction of the stock market. Keep that in your brains. This is just telling me if market is selling and if there are buyers, then I'm looking for the buyers to be here and nowhere else. Does it mean it does this and bounce? Absolutely not. If I'm a bear, I want to short where the sellers are. If I'm a bull, I want to buy where the bulls are. That's it. You can't say that. Just make sure. At BRSU, we do not fall. BRSU, none of these say that you fall or rally. Do y'all all understand that? This is just showing you where buyers and sellers can be. They're drawn as arrows so that you can see that this means this is where buyers will be and this is where they find the sellers. If market is raising off of a bounce there, then it's going to find sellers there. It doesn't mean that it goes through here and breaks and goes. This is just different states of the market. Do y'all got it? Careful. BRSU does not indicate that we sell off. It shows a general downward pressure because there's more reds than greens, but don't be mistaken. These don't tell you the market's going to do anything. The market will do whatever it wants. I will trade one place to the next, yes, but I have to use the confidence of all the things to give me that confidence. For example, is what happens if you're between yellow and blue, right? There's a long leg and a possible short leg. These are possibilities, not guarantees. Which one would I take if I had two options? Should I long from yellow to blue or short from blue to yellow? Then I go to my tiebreakers. Well, this is strong and positive, so the upside is more probable. This has been strong and positive all day. The upside is more probable. So the way that I see it is that the two tools that outrank this thing are both bullish, and I have a bullish option, so I'm more inclined to take this leg up than either three of those legs down. Does that make any sense? So because DD is strong and positive, it's not that strong, but we've been negative for a couple of days and we just broke positive. I'm taking the bet that this number is showing a short-term sentiment shift and it's going to fight all day while trying to sell off, and kind of towards the middle or end of the day, as long as the conditions don't get worse, the natural tendency of bullish positioning and stocks not selling off after they gap down will allow this market to float higher and rally. It means, okay, no, it doesn't mean upside limit. It just means where buyers and sellers will be. It's a liquidity map. Think of, okay, so what's a treasure map, right? A treasure map has got an X on the map that shows you where a treasure will be. But when you get there, you don't know what's going to be after you dig the hole. Is there going to be a box full of cookies? It's going to be a box full of gold. You just know that if you're looking for sellers and you're walking through the jungle on an island and you stumble across X, you're going to dig and find some sellers there. It doesn't mean you're going to find $1 billion worth of selling pressure or $1 worth of selling pressure, but you will find sellers there because of the nature of these things. So these are where buyers and sellers can be. The strengths of which and which legs I will choose when I have options are determined by the arbitrage and the positional risk, bull or bear of the stocks, and the stock's desire to fill their gaps. So I break ties or I pick legs from the treasure map. The treasure map has two directions. Oh, there's an X over here and an X over here. Which one do you want to take? Well, this one looks like it's underwater, but it's low tide, and okay, let's go there. Or this one's underwater and it's high tide. Okay, we're not gonna be able to get to it. Right, so you have to use the big three together as like one major tool. The way that I see it is that the stock market wants to be on the bull side. That's it. And SPY is on the bear side. So there's two bets to make. Either the stocks are lagging and they're going to catch up, which means DD needs to come lower. Then I'm going to bail on my long trade. Or the S&P needs to catch up to the stocks. One of the two needs to happen because of arbitrage, right? And you got to take one bet or the other. That's the way that it works. So either the stocks are going to sell. If the S&P is selling and the stocks aren't budging, then I don't believe the selling pressure. Right? If resilience starts to just lose momentum and die for the day, then the stocks gap down and are trading down. Right now, everything's hugging zero with bullish positioning. So either the index needs to catch up or the stocks need to catch up. Do y'all understand what I mean by arbitrage? Right? White line is the close from Friday. Yes, oh, here we go. Sorry. Right? The downside practically filled the gap almost. Like it got right there and it won. That is the downside target, which also is why I'm confident of the move, right? You found those buyers and they were clearly there. The market is going to avoid this green line at all costs as long as DD is greater than half. You guys remember when we first taught DD that week? Do y'all remember what that video was showing? It's pretty cool. You saw like, y'all remember what it did that day? Like all the indices, they tried to trade down. And there was like this magic force that just wasn't letting it touch that green band. and it just did that. Y'all remember that from the video? It's like it was trying to trade down, and that DD being like 0.6 or whatever it was, it just did not want to touch that band. And we even changed the rule to state more explicitly, like DD doesn't just mean you touch the upper band before the lower band, but it also means you don't want to touch, it doesn't want to touch the lower band first either, right? Well, yeah, it'd be nice to set indicator alerts. 100, well, we are, right? That's the next push is to get futures data, to have alerts. That's the next thing. Once we get futures data in here, we can have all 5 irrational signals with alerts. We can have random signals with alerts. We're going to build alerts and rule assist mode, which to me is the coolest thing. So one of two things is going to happen today. Either the stocks, like basically the stocks are up there effectively. So they need to meet somewhere. So either the stocks trade down, which means DD is going to go lower, right? I'll bail. As long as that stays the same, I'm not scared. Right? So there's stocks have to sell to catch up to the index because the stocks are in bull territory. The index is in bear. They got to meet in the middle. One's got to catch up to the other. So I'm looking at my 2 main pivoting tools to see what's going on. Resilience, monthly hedge pressure resilience is nice and strong. It wants to stay above monthly hedge, and it's going to fight its way to get lower, and it's going to keep going. Do y'all see this? That's the easiest one to see. The yellow line, y'all also, everyone in chat, type yes if you see it. Monthly hedge resilience, long and strong all day long. So far so good. Resilience can predict hedge pressure break. Since we do have irrational on Russell, that's kind of throwing a curveball at us, right? So at the surface, you just see that this wants to be support, right? So I'm still taking a look at my position. I was playing with it. I trimmed some. I'm back in the same position I'm in. This monthly hedge pressure resilience number has been a beast. It is not budging, and Doomsday DD ratio is not budging. The stocks are very bullish today, and the index is opening on the bear side. The stocks are opening above monthly hedge pressure and the index is opening below. This is an arbitrage moment, and I've been discussing this in my stream. So either the stocks trade down to meet the index, or the index rallies really quick to meet the stocks. When you see opportunities like this, there's going to be some onset moves, like while there's some volatility as things keep going. It still does look to me that the scales are slightly tilting bullish, but we are fighting at this monthly hedge pressure number. We've been staring at this one all day, 397.5. But that resilience is what we use as a tiebreaker. So in these arbitrage moments, with the DD ratio and resilience, we call them our big 3, right? DD, resilience, and liquidity maps. So DD and resilience are tiebreakers for the index. It shows the discrepancy between where the stocks are relative to the index or with each other. So the stock's very bullish and the index is not. They got to meet in the middle somewhere. One's got to catch up to the other. So what I'm doing right now is I'm watching my long and I'm staring at this 0.52 ratio. Imagine 0.52 means 52 people are sitting on one side of a seesaw and 48 are sitting on the other. It's slightly bullish. I mean slightly, but it's not budging while the market's trying to sell. So what I'm watching to see if that 52 goes to 51 or 50 or 49, which means people are abandoning the bull position in stocks for me to get scared of an index long. So I'm betting the other way around is that the index is traditionally following the stock market, right? The stocks traditionally move first in rational markets, and the index will follow. So when the stocks look bullish, and the resilience is a whole nother topic, but when that also looks somewhat bullish, I'm going to lean my bet towards that bull side, but it's going to be a fight, which is a choppiness all day at this kind of middle level. So whether I'm right or wrong, I'm going to keep my eyeballs on these numbers here. And it's an interesting move because the market is just kind of sandwiched and not really going anywhere. But if it does move, it's going to move swift and move quick. So the downside potential, I think, is limited. I don't think we lower below 3960 on the S&P. I don't think we're going to have any power to create a sell-off from here, but we'll see. You know, volatility is in decay today, so it doesn't show any signs that the market's gonna sell, but we'll have to see. But see how I'm using like the tools to kind of have a little bit of discretion to my trade plan today. Is I know like Adam was saying he was shorting today and I said I was longing today. We're both on different sides of the fence, and we both know we're in for a long battle. That's the best part, is everybody's kind of, you know, it's not going to be a clean day. The upside is going to have to fight all day and then break, and it's going to move really quick, and people are going to see it right after it happens and go, ooh, it is moving. It's not going to be a trending day. So out the door, you know, it was one of those kind of situations where you can use all your tools together and you can blend them to create like a more advanced trade plan. So we have like a cool way to see that. And of course, if you guys, like we said, if you're coming through our program to learn what we're teaching, we teach you simple tricks, and today is a complex trick. So the trade I'm doing today is actually one of our week 6 course material trades. So it's kind of blending all the stuff together for an arbitrage opportunity, which is kind of cool. It's the advanced trader stuff. So you guys, it's probably a cool day to tune in actually to the stream. So if y'all want to see how it all plays out, I invite y'all to come on over. Oh, and if you follow the Rocket Scooter account today, we'll make sure we can get y'all on that extended trial. Like I said, Gav has that link, but if you do give us a follow, we'll chat with you and give you more information if you do have it. So I'm going to pass the mic on over and get back to my trading. Does it matter? Yeah, it's right on the edge, and that's the problem. It's not that bullish. That's the problem. Not that bullish, it's just bullish enough. The reason I'm excited about this is because it was like 0.2 and 0.3. Like it was definitely less than half, and it's now just barely breaching half. If it was like 0.7, then 0.6, and now 0.5, I would be less excited to see a bull break. What I'm excited to see is if the market is trying to finally break bullish for like a one-day squeeze. So we'll see. Like I said, it's a gamble trade. We'll see if I'm right. Ideally, I'd like to be long, more like down in here to trade back in. Let's double check UVXY and let's see if our breakouts are looking like anything's happening. And we now lit the fuse on UVXY, right? UVXY irrational roll could create that volatility, which we won't want to see. Yeah. So now we're getting that kind of volatility bounce, and I was kind of watching this on my other screen. That is that UVXY roll. This is the scary roll. Like I said, I'm betting against some scary rolls today. Yep. We want to see this push out below here. It's trying to. Either way, 3960 is about where I'd want to be long for the market to push higher. Bottom DD band, but we'll see. This, yeah, remember the bomb, right? It's like you walk a bomb up to a candle, like a cartoon Wile E. Coyote. And then every time you touch the bottom, it lights the fuse, and anytime you leave the bottom, the fuse goes out. So this can create unusual hedging as you touch the bottom. There's a thing that we noticed that VIX call walls at the bottom of a zone create unusual volume. So I want to see what the volume looks like here. They hear correct NQ chart soon. You mean correct? You mean futures on charts? Possible. We are exploring that right now. Futures data and futures trading. We're exploring that now. One of the only holdups that is keeping that from pushing as fast as it is because after we just literally had an explosion of our member base, there's more eyeballs on the platform. So you had a lot of people come in here in tech support or in the wish list and start dropping all these other really cool ideas. Now, while futures are a big project that opens up massive things that we need, like alerts, you know, rational, irrational alerts, that's what everybody's waiting for. So you guys stick around. Before the end of the extended trial, they'll be out for sure. But you guys, as y'all have joined, have been giving us all these cool ideas like, you know, hey, can you fix the load window layout? And it's a lot of like the nuanced things that you would see in a normal trading platform that, you know, the more eyes you have on it, the more people see things that need to change. So we've been fixing, tweaking, speeding up, increasing server capacity, and doing more like expansion work this month as opposed to running down the lane for futures that we need to run down. So you guys, what y'all are seeing is that as y'all are giving us more feedback, I've reprioritized the projects to make at least the platform more suitable as is for a rapidly expanding member base. And that's kind of the, you know, we didn't expect, let's just be straight up, we didn't expect to go viral. We thought we would get a little bit of interest. Got on Spaces, Ashton came with this group, and I mean, it just, I mean, it's a great problem that it's so viral. Like I had to go in the announcement, say I'm gonna take a shower, I'll be back in an hour. That way people don't freak out. It's just so, it's awesome. It's a great problem to have, and we're glad to have all of you here. And it just, with that many people coming, we're like, oh, we thought we were able to handle that server load. Well, let's expand. And so we're having like a bunch of emergency projects. My team is so awesome. They're so good at just pivoting, you know, on a whim. Hey, by the way, we got to fix these like 25 things tonight, you know, kind of mentality. So we readjusted kind of what we did to be able to facilitate and handle all this stuff. And then futures immediately next, I promise. So it's good. It's a good problem to have for sure. And we're glad that y'all all decided to, you know, take the plunge here. Where we at? It's gonna have a hard time again breaking down if this number is greater than half. We do that. UVXY is that issue though, so you have to keep your eyeballs on this one today. It's almost time to call the YouTube stream quits, but if you guys want to continue to follow the saga, I invite you all, come to our Discord really quick. We go back to Zoom. We'll continue streaming in Zoom. Go there. Sign up here if you want. That's for the $35 a month for our full package. For 3 months. Call it the extended trial. It's replacing the free trial. If you've never done Rockscare before, you qualify, you can do it. You go through our entire 6-week program and we give you 3 months to do it. So you can learn everything. What I say is take your time. It's a once in a lifetime thing. Don't go out there and, you know, go buy expensive, crazy Discord, signal services. It's all garbo. You want to learn some kind of trading or you want a really nice bullshit meter? We'll give you one and teach you how to read the markets and also read your paper trading gurus and call bullshit on what they're telling you. You go through our course, you will walk away a risk manager. No doubt about it. So take your time and go through it and trust the process. Don't be so eager to be like, ooh, new toy. I know I'm that way. Ooh, new toy. Let's play with it. Open the box. Yeah, start pushing buttons. Go through the course. Just like you see, like you bought a cake, it's sitting on the table, you want to take a bite. Go through the courses and learn how to appreciate that cake first for what it is. And when you go through that first week of courses, you will exit that course wondering why me telling you that you need to return a shopping cart and make your bed every morning is going to help you become a better person, which might be the pathway to you becoming a better trader if that's what you want. There's reasons we teach the way that we do. It's to teach patience. We need to be patient. It's to teach breaking bad habits when you don't need to be gambling. It's to undo the bad habits you learned because you never asked the person that taught you trading for a broker statement. And you were, no offense, desperate and an idiot and probably deserved to lose the money that you lost. No offense, but the School of Hard Knocks is how you get trained in the world of war, where everything here, including myself, is designed to beat you into the ground and put all of your money into my pocket to pay my Maserati payments at the expense of you and your family. That's what trading's like. No one here gives a shit about you. And so you have to be able to manage in a world where everybody here is trying to take your money and does not care. And they're going to pretend to care and they don't. And we will train you how to look out for that. How to know when the market is trying to trick you. How to know when you have no plan. How to know when the market needs to be avoided. All these things. Jason's like, we've met. Yeah, we're going to zoom in just a second. I usually take like a 15-20 minute break just to catch up, like everybody that messages me and that needs to get in Discord and all that. And then usually we get on Zoom at noon Eastern. So if you haven't done Rocket Scooter before, the 3-month trial is just for you to go through the program. And if you go to the end of the program, we have a surprise at the end for you. It's going to be worth it to finish, I promise. But as we're filming the videos and developing the program live as we go, refilming the videos, it's going to be worth it. So just be careful out there, and it's never going to be 35 bucks again, but that was very popular for people to give it a shot. So we're going to train at noon like we do every day. The saga will continue. And we'd like for you guys to really take it seriously. The training that we teach is to prepare you for war. The stock market's a war. And everybody that's trading, including your paper trade guru, it does not care about you. And you have to be ready to be able to fend for yourself. We don't do call outs in our Discord. I don't. Our members do. They probably talk about their trades all day long. I don't. I want you to learn how to do this and be good at this. And be a warrior at this. As your friends are trying to buy the dip in crypto or doing whatever in the water cooler talk, you're a methodical Wall Street shark with rules. And that's where we want y'all to be. So give it a shot. Check out those links. We're going to bail out of here. It's time to go. But we will see you in the Zoom in just a little bit. We usually come back at noon to finish up the saga. Like I said, I'll post my broker statement. I get to see how the trade plays out. Hopefully it plays out. If not, I know where my risk is. I remember where my reward is. I like what I see. This is a complex trade. This is combining all of our tools into one. This is like an advanced thing. So this is a good time to start committing to week 1. Go through the training. You'll absolutely learn something you didn't know before. So we're glad you guys are sharing your experience as growth or experience of growth as a trader with us. We've all been there before, and we're glad to share our wisdom with you. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hit up that Discord, hit that link. Don't forget to click the thumbs up on the way out. And we'll see y'all in a little bit.